Hey, 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 it is your girl, Misbehaving. And the name of the channel is Misbehaving is Fun, where I talk about real people, real problems, and real drama. Baby, how are y'all doing? Long time no see in these YouTube streets. How have y'all been? Today is Saturday, February 8th, 2025. And happy Black History Month. And if you know, like I know, baby, Black History is 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. Unless you're Portia Williams, honey, and it's 265. I'm waiting for my girl, Real Talk with Lady. There she go. There she go. Uh-huh. Hey now. Hey, country girl Queena. How you doing? D, there is that link, honey. Y'all, the woman of the hour. The woman of the hour is President. Lord have mercy, I did not upload her photo. Is President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, the president of Mexico. Baby, she said it's time to make America Mexicana again. Honey, President Trump said make America great again, but President Pardo over in Mexico, baby, she said make America Mexicana again. Now, if you know anything about California, California originally belonged to Mexico. Honey, we gonna sit this out and be out to lunch, and we gonna let them handle this, honey. Baby, them folks have had their foot up on our neck and trying to hold us back. And little did they know, the Latin community, the Hispanic community, that is, baby, they are coming up. And they said they got next. They said the black community had their chance and they didn't want to stick together and get what's due to them. They said, but make no mistake, we coming through the door now, baby. We coming through the door now. And honey, we gonna get what's due to us, honey. Mi gente familia. Mi gente familia. I know that's right, baby. I know that's right. But misbehaving feet are hurting. D, where are you at? Come on up here and hit this link. I don't know where you at. What you say? Country girl said, good evening, misbehaving and regulators. And unapologetic real talk said, girl, I hope you have some takeout plates. Honey, I got a little case of the itis. I tell you, black folks should not be eating carbs and honey, it's something about carbs. You eat them, and honey, they make you drowsy and sleepy. Honey, our genetic makeup was not made for that. So, honey, now I've been told that that photo showing the president of Mexico wearing that hat and it's hashtag mama, MAMA. They said it was AI generated, that she wasn't wearing the hat. So if the president of Mexico said she wasn't wearing the hat like that and somebody did that, well, I say, God dog it, I would have ran with it. Because, honey, that had inspired a lot of folks out here in California. Baby, we even had a chuckle today. We even had a chuckle today. So, y'all, I have been going for a long time and I ain't going to stay on this live too long. My girl ain't even hit the link and came on up, and I don't even know what's going on, D. Why you ain't hit that link yet? Oh, she said, I'm coming. She said, I'm coming. Dude, by the time you come, it's going to almost be time for me to go and eat some dinner. Yes, yes. I tell you, if you want something done, you better get a woman, baby. You better get a woman. I don't know what's going on, but President Trump, I don't know if you want to go to war with Mexico. I don't know if you want to do that, Papa. I don't know if you want to do that. Uh-uh. And President Claudia, she's the first woman president of Mexico. Yes, she is. There my girl go. I heard the clank in the back. Let me let you on up. Hey,
How you doing, girl?
I am doing fine. I messed around and ate some of the popped some popcorn and ate it. And honey, I got a case of the itis. Fell asleep real quick. I said, God, dog, what was that about?
Girl, look, I should have
What
been
was
had
that
my
about?
popcorns. I should have been popping my cones while I'm on this live right here, trying to look the whole everything that fell apart. My husband's supposed to fix it, and it's just it's a mess. That's why I'm taking so long, girl. I'm trying to rig this up as I'm talking to you right now. The whole stand done
What,
fell down, everything.
hey D, what you trying to do? You trying to Trump rig it?
That's what I'm trying to do right now, girl.
You heard what I said. You heard what I said. The Hispanic community said the black community had their chance and they didn't drop the ball. We up next and we finna show y'all what to do with it.
Like I sit there and say, honey, where we was asleep, right? We was
Sleeping at the wheel.
Thank you. We was sleep, buck dancing, and whatever we was doing, thinking that we got time. Like I said, time don't wait for no
Mhm.
one. And one thing when it comes to these people don't play. These people is all about business. We the one wants to
Yes,
sleep,
they are.
And I've
Hmm.
been talking about this for a very, very long time.
Yes, you have. You definitely have. And just like we said so many times before, see, when there was segregation, our community thrived. It was all about unity, upliftment, bettering your lives. But honey, as soon as they opened the doors of integration, it was downhill for our community ever since then. And wow, what you call them, the kinker worms, and
The
and
palm
what else?
worms, the locusts, the caterpillars, and that's
Uh
exactly what
huh.
they are. Like I said, we are the ones that's supposed to be in that position, but we sleep. We
Hmm.
just so focused on things that we have no business focusing on. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and shut the door because I'm holding all this in my hand to hold
No, you go ahead.
myself.
You, I'll talk. I
All
handle
right.
it. I
Yeah.
talk.
Okay.
But yeah,
Hold on one
and
second.
there's no need in anybody getting offended in what we're saying. And trust me, we both are proud to be black women, and we're proud to be black. And we know that there are a lot of things to be proud about our community for, but there are a lot of things that folks in our community are doing that's painting all of us in a bad picture. And all I'm saying is, honey, this stuff between these white folks and these Mexicans, I'm sitting on to the side. Cause see, why them now I love you white people. I don't hate you now. But y'all ain't even gave us our reparations. Y'all ain't even doing right by the black community. Now you in this fisticuff with the Hispanic community and you think we finna run to y'all rescue and come help you, baby. I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I am not getting in that war and that fight. And I'm gonna tell you, something tell me the Hispanic community is gonna come out on top. So if y'all know like I know, y'all better start learning how to speak Spanish, honey. You better start learning how to speak Spanish, honey. Hmm.
Look,
You
I
show
was
better.
I was texting. I was talking to one of my mods. I say, look, she texted me and she say, look, I know a little Spanish. Well, I say you might have to try to help a sister out because I don't
And
know
y'all know,
nothing
look,
but uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, and that's it. And I'm done. You see what I'm
you
saying?
you counting your money. You counting your money. You count. Look, I worked in a district with a whole bunch of Latinos. You and being in California, you'll pick up Spanish. You'll pick it up, especially if that's who you hang around. But I'm telling you what, this community is not going to be a pushover, and I'm gonna tell you why there's a difference. I'm not saying that we're a scary community. It's just our community. We are the descendants of enslaved people. So once they got that opportunity to better their lives, or they've been brainwashed and conditioned to think that anything that's not black or it belongs to white people, it's better. So they always want to identify that. When Hispanic community, they have been here for a while as well. They have been here, but they have been accepted. Because if you look at a lot of the applications, some of the applications don't even have them identify themselves as being Hispanic. They're white. it might have an option on the applications or whatever to identify themselves as being non-Hispanic, white, or Hispanic. So it's a whole different ball game with this community than it was with us, because we our community has always been pushed on the bottom. And so uh the majority here in America, they have utilized other communities against us, because let's make it clear, if it wasn't for black people marching, being beaten, assaulted, sometimes losing their life in the pursuit of equality and justice, we would never have gotten the Civil Rights Bill. The Civil Rights Bill, also known as the Civil Rights Act, that's so many communities benefit from. So, what I'm saying is this, honey, I'm going to sit to the side because my back hurt and my feet hurt. I don't recall getting a reparations check up in the mail for the things that our ancestors have done, things that were promised to us and were never getting. So it ain't my business. But I tell you what, honey, the Hispanic community is not going nowhere no time soon. And in fact, a lot of these companies have brought them over here. They have brought them over here to work in these companies and then want to act like it's a problem with them being over here. Baby, I'm minding my black business. Do you hear me?
Absolutely. Can you hear me real good?
Now I can. Yes, ma'am.
You remember Jeremiah Wright. He says that, well, and it's not Jeremiah Wright, but it was Malcolm X. He was saying that the chickens are coming home to roost. And this is exactly
Roost.
what we see right
Mm-hmm.
now. We are seeing the chickens are
Yes.
coming home to roost because all this stuff right here, it was already in the making. And what I think, this is what I think. I think right now is that these people, they're going to come together and it's going to be worse than what, it even look. It's just going to be really worse because first of all, if we banning everyone from coming, into America, do you think that these people going to want you in their country? If we banning everyone in to come in America, do you think that these people, like when we travel abroad, and I'm not saying we,
Mm-mm.
because we already know
No, I know what
that,
you're saying.
hey, they might let us straight through, but I'm talking about the
Right.
ones, they might give them a hard time because they got to go and stick their nose anywhere. So you think that when it's time for them to travel in certain countries, the door is going to be closed?
Mm-hmm. They don't. Yep. Because if you start kicking people out the country or not allowing them in, they are going to return the same favor. Americans are not going to be allowed in their country, and I don't blame them. So I'm just telling you this, honey. I'm just sitting here minding my business, but this is not going to, it's not going to be an easy fight like they think it is. And I
Hmm.
believe they know it. When Joe Biden got in office, remember Joe Biden, when he first got in office, he had that meeting with all the so-called leaders of the black community, where he said in the year 2040, I believe, that the Hispanic community is going to be the largest group here in America. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he said.
Yeah, he sat there and say they going to be the majority and whites going to be the minority. But that Ben
Mhm.
was there. White people
Right.
Ben was the minority. The thing is that
Yeah.
now we are in what I call the age of information where they can't lie anymore because now everything is in a push of a button. You see, back then
Hmm.
when people, like these Asians and these Latinos, and when they was trying to come into America, they had to check white. You understand? But now this new
Right.
generation right here, they love who they are, where they gonna say, look, I'm who I am, this is my race, and I'm not gonna check no box
Hmm.
say white. I'm gonna check who I am because this generation right now is waking up. So now what
Right.
you seen America's skirt is showing and they're afraid.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're
That's why they
afraid.
brought all those Ukrainians over.
Absolutely.
because I didn't hear this outrage when the Ukrainians were brought over.
And you want,
So
they're afraid of us. You won't hear nothing like that.
and
All
that's why
this
they
right here,
try
what
to
you see is
pit.
politics. Yep.
Uh-huh. And that's why they try to pit us against one another. I remember when I was younger, we used to have this thing up in SoCal. It was like black and brown. We were going to school together, hanging out, and whatever else. And as time went on, I don't know what happened with that. It has just become, everybody for themselves. But what I am definitely seeing, and you guys can't get mad and you can't hate them. One thing the Hispanic community is going to do, honey, they're gonna band together and help one another. Now, even if they fight one another, they're gonna band together to support one another. And I love it. Do you recall it may have been probably 2 years ago? Remember in Florida, what's that DeSantis? I think it's Mark DeSantis, the governor of Florida. Remember, he had this idea that he was going to fire all the construction workers that were Hispanic, and honey, it ended up hurting uh the state of Florida, so they had to bring the people back. Ron DeSantis, that's his name,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Mark.
Ron
Ron
DeSantis. Yeah,
DeSantis.
yes, yes. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, but bring it back to memories. What had happened?
They call themselves talking about they didn't want any immigrants in their state, and a majority of the construction companies there in Florida, they had Hispanic workers there. So he thought he was doing some big willie by getting rid of them, and honey, it affected their the market there, the construction market. They couldn't get no buildings built because they didn't have enough workers there. So Ron
Wow.
DeSantis quickly changed his tune because it was affecting the
Mhm.
economy there.
Yeah. But you
So
see, the thing
so that.
about it, misbehaving, what I see right now is that, a lot of people, we want to be entertained. Like if you was sitting
Mhm.
here and you talking about all the foolish things, oh my God, you get a huge outcome. But it's just to show you how our people are asleep. And the minute when it started coming in and slapping us in our face, then we want to sit there and we want to act a plum fool. We want to go into the stores and ring up have these cashiers ringing up thousands of dollars of worth of products and trying to make a statement. But when it's time for the stuff that's going on, they know about it, but they just ignore it, thinking that they got time. It's time for us, especially when it comes to our people, thinking that we got time. We can buy time. We
Right.
can't buy time because time does not wait for no one.
No, it does not. No, it does not. Not at all. But I tell you, I don't care if it ain't nobody in here when we're talking this. It feels good because eventually somebody will hear.
Absolutely.
Somebody will hear. They
Absolutely.
may YouTube may purposely be depressing. Not pushing the video out because
Hmm.
why wake the masses when they can have you sleeping. They got to keep making money some sort of way, and they can't make no money if people are of sound mind and about
Hmm.
positivity. They
Hmm.
like the mess, and I like the mess
Absolutely.
too. But at the same time, we need to build and
Balance it.
heal and
Yes. Balance
yeah,
it.
balance it on out.
That's it. We have
That's
to
what they
balance
need to
it.
do.
But it's going to be like I said, we're going to get into where people, and I truly believe that's going to be a great awakening where people going to catch on. People catching on, it's just that we're going to be able to tap into it, not just into this love and marriage in Huntsville sector, because it's
Right.
bigger. This is real life. This is not a reality what
Mhm.
we are talking about. And the first thing, we want to sit there and we want to go out there and hate on something we don't even understand. Like I say, the power is
Right.
in our hands, but we keep dropping the
Mhm.
ball. Look, we could talk about
And
right
it's
now
still
how we
there.
spend trillions of dollars a year. And I talk about it all the time. Trillions. So we got money. You can't say we don't have money. We
Right.
cannot go outside unless we have designer clothes, unless we sitting there driving in
Mm-hmm.
foreign cars. So you cannot tell me we don't
Mm-hmm.
have money. It's just that we think that we got time. And I think that all what we see right now is to bring us on our knees to tell us to wake the hell up. That's how I see it.
Yep. Yep. I absolutely agree with you. And what you mentioning, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Have you noticed? Carlos did a good interview with I forgot DMX's. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but DMX's ex-wife. I don't know if her name is Shakara. It's something, but it made me think. Everybody's story. Have you noticed in our community when they share their stories, somebody's been through some sort of traumatic event, like something horrendous, and it hasn't escaped my mind. And everybody that Carlos has interviewed, but I want to point out that interview with him and DMX's widow is because in that interview it was so touching. It was like a whole side. So it makes you conflicted at times with Carlos. Like, is he giving you this platform uh when he does shows like Love and Marriage Huntsville or whatever, where he's showing this dysfunction, is to put a mirror to our face because these are actual things that happen in people's lives every day, not just the folks that we see on the television screen, but are we all as a community tired? Aren't you tired of still seeing this trauma in front of you? And can we start showing something else? I don't know if I don't know. I may not be wording that correctly, but I believe Carlos may see a bigger picture where we need to start showing more positive things about people in our community and having positive shows. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's something going on, but I'm noticing that every single person that he interviews on his podcast, um, they've been through some sort of traumatic event. Even Mimi Foss, mother leaving her at the age of 14. Can you imagine that? A mother leaving their child at such a young age to run off and chase a religion. Now this little girl is left to fend for herself. So to me, I often think, what all has she been through or had to survive and overcome, and to get to where she is today? you know that's why I always, when I say kids that survive trauma become either adults coping with trauma or functioning in trauma. When they're functioning in trauma, that those are the adults that you see that are doing all the negative things. They've been hurt. They want to hurt somebody else. They don't trust anybody. Let me see how I can scam you. Let me see how I can get the bag. Or,
Hmm.
all of those negative things. That's what I identify as someone functioning in trauma.
Hmm.
Someone coping with trauma are people that have been through the pain and the hurt. They know what it feels like. So they don't want to extend that pain and hurt to
Hmm.
others. So they always have a softness about themselves where they want to help. So I don't know. It's just our community. Have you ever sat back and just noticed that, like all of our celebrities and educators and so forth, everybody has a story of where they've been victimized in some sort of way.
Hmm. We all have a story. Is a PDF. I'm gonna go ahead and send a link to you. I want you to read. It was this Jewish senator, and he was exposing a lot of stuff that was going on. And what they do is they bank off of our pain. Like our people, we've been through a lot, and we feel that the only way that we can come up, we got to be mammy maids, we got to act a plum fool, in order for us to be on top, or live like the Joneses, and that's why I talk about it all the time, is a little small piece of cheese. And what they do is they throw it out and we run to it, not knowing that the whole entire house is for us. But everything is just a mind game. All what you see right now is only a mind game. Once we wake the hell up, and they don't want us to wake up. That's why they put these I call them a maestro show, and football and all the entertainment, because we love to be entertained. So long as they put all that in our way, is just gonna continue distracting us. Notice that when they want to push something, or they hiding something, they always find a black celebrity. And where we are, we rather sit there and talk about that all day, make hundreds of videos, but we see so much stuff right now, all in California, all in Texas. These people sitting there, they grouping up together, and these people out there, they about business. But where are we? In front of the television, you see?
In front of the television. They sure was. They on they've been down here marching, protesting in
And you
various
see it.
cities.
Yeah, you there.
Honey, about to shut down the whole highway, and that's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. You sit back as a black person, I say, God, dog, that is inspiring. And my folks can't do this. But they say we are the number one consumer, the one out here spending the money on these products. Aren't we
Absolutely.
tired of being the consumers? We should be.
And the thing about it is that we got the power. Everything that happens, especially when it comes to welfare, come to affirmative action, they're always pointing the finger at us, knowing that they are the first ones in line for all those special benefits. But by we don't research, or we, just taking this and thinking that, oh my God, I'm not worried about that, we take on all that burden, we take on all the stuff that they throwing on us, and they're gonna continue doing that, until someone said there and say, oh no, it's time for us to start doing our research. No, we're not the first ones that's in the line getting affirmative action. We don't get those rollbacks. We the bottom of the barrel that gets that. But we got the media thinking that, hey, we the first ones that's beating the system, but finding out that it's not true. But until we start getting serious, so all that you see when you seen the Mexicans and all these people out there on the freeway and marching and saying that, hey, they about to take over, it's just to sit there
Mm-hmm.
and wake us up. It's to wake us up. All that right there, what we seeing right now, especially when it comes to the AI, the Elon Musk, and this empire they trying to go ahead and build. All that right there is just to try to wake us up, and that's real talk.
Mm-hmm. You got that right. You got that right. I wish we would. Like you in walking in a fog, in a haze. I don't even know, boy. I tell you, over 400 years of slavery did a number on us because it's embedded in the DNA,
And
and
and,
it's
and
generations later.
let me tell you about this: the 400 years of slavery. Uh, like I said, we are now where we are in the ninth universal year, right?
Yes,
We are
ma'am.
in what we call the age of information, right?
Yes.
Don't you know that was another lie? And if I tell people that, they're not going to believe it, they will shun me. But I'm going to say what thus says the Lord. Don't you know we was not in bondage no 400 years? You want me to tell you how long we've been in bondage? And they made us to
Yes.
forget about our past no longer, no more than 100 years. Did you hear what I said?
What?
Yes, no more than 100 years.
What?
And I promise you, our people would not even receive this, but there are some woke people out there that is going to receive it. We have not been in no, and they probably say, well, D, you got to break it down. Want me to tell you when we was in bondage, when we became in bondage? When the Chinese made the
Oh,
gunpowder. Did you hear me? when the
Mm,
Chinese made
yes.
the gunpowder and the guns, and that was no longer in maybe the 1600 or 1700, and it didn't get into really in full effect when it came to the Europeans, and that was like maybe the late 1800s. But before that, we was beating their tails. You see what I'm saying? With our bow and arrows and our whatever we had, we was beating their tails until they came with the guns, and that's what brought us to our knees when they brought the guns. You ain't gonna get that information from me, everybody. I promise you, because this
Mm,
only
mm,
comes
mm.
from on high. We was beating them tails. They were in the freaking caves until they got them guns in their hands, the pow pows in their hands, and that's why those pow pows are their Bible. Try to take that away from them. Now, what they feel, we don't need that. Now we building AI, we building robots where now we going to be like a godlike. You see, this deeper than what you think.
Mhm.
Don't you know? And I'm gonna tell you one thing: how the Most High God been revealing all this stuff to me. Everything that we was taught, we have to shake it off. We have to shake it off. You see what I'm saying? Even when
Uh,
it comes to the
yeah.
letter J, don't you know the letter J was invented and crafted by the crafty counselors? Don't you know the letter J is really is not even in it's not even a part of supposed to be a part of the Hebrew language. If they sit there and say the Bible was in Hebrew and Arabic, the letter J was crafted. It was an I, and what they did was they twisted into a J. That's another story by itself. Another story by itself. We've been hoodwinked. Don't you know the Middle East? We thinking that the Middle East this deeper than what we think. The Middle East, we thought that it was 2,000 years. The Middle East, right? Misbehaving.
Don't make me lie to you, but go. I'm listening. I'm
So
getting this
when
knowledge.
you think about the Middle East, you think that's where the birth of baby Jesus, right? You always heard in the Middle
That's what
East,
they say in Jerusalem.
and that was like 2,000 years ago. Don't you know the Middle East was coined in the 1900s? Google that.
Mm.
Do your research. It was not 2,000 years ago. The Middle East became was first before it was the Middle East. It was North Africa. And what they did
I
was
tell
they
you.
built a man-made canal called the Suez Canal. And that's
Uh
what
huh.
it was able to split Africa and call the other part Middle East. Girl, like I said, our history goes so far. And the thing about it, we don't know it. But you see, these Mexicans, they know that this right here, some of that was their land. Like, especially when it comes to California. So you trying to push us out of
Mm-hmm.
something that you went ahead and you stole from us, and you thinking that the chickens are not coming home to roost? The chickens are
Right.
coming home to roost. Misbehaving is deeper than what we think. And like I said there and say, it's deeper than we even think. They sat there and took everything and they turned it into a whitewash lie. You hear me? And you wonder why we are
I hear
now.
you.
It didn't come. We
Turn it
didn't.
into a lie.
Yes, we didn't come into bondage until maybe I'm gonna give it the 1800s when the white man had those became powerful when they had those pow pows in their hands. When
Mm.
the Chinese was the ones that invented the gunpowder. And once the Chinese invented the gunpowder and they got into their hands, the power that be hands, and it wasn't the power that be, they was in the caves. That's what brought them out of the caves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we was afraid when those they was dropping, all that over our heads. That's how we became crippled in bondage.
Oh my
It's
God!
deep.
Listen,
So
you
and
see
see,
that you dropping knowledge. You dropping knowledge. I'm sorry for interrupting, but you dropping knowledge. So you making folks rethink everything that we've heard to have to go do your own research. If you
absolutely,
know how to count it on back. So we got to unlearn all this information that they have fed us. That
absolutely,
they have fed
absolutely.
us, and we continue to regurgitate. But go ahead,
And I'm
Lady D.
waking up my sister right now. That's why she called me again because she want to eat some more. She wants some more of this because I'm waking everybody up. Why you think they kicked me out of church? And why you think I'm by
Mm,
myself? I feel like I'm on an island by myself. You see what I'm saying? They didn't want to hear because
right.
we was indoctrinated. And I was the
Yep.
type of person from a very child. I was reading the Bible. And you ask me anything that's by that scripture by the Bible, I would tell you until one day the Most High God say, now I was about to read it again. He say, close it. It's time to live it. And when he started telling me it's time to live it, I start sitting there rightfully dividing it. I start sitting there decoding it. You see what I'm saying? Just like I'm gonna give you another nugget.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you another nugget. And this is
Come
how
on, give it
God
now.
gonna allow me. God is. This is how He allowing me to talk now. And see, people don't want to hear this. They want to hear the hocus pocus stories. Okay, you remember in the Old Testament, you heard of the Tower of Babel, right? You remember
Lady
that
D, why
tall
you do
tower.
this to me all the time?
You
Lady
remember that
D,
tall
you do this
tower.
to me all the time. You do this to me all the time, Lady D. I'm not good in no Bible.
Well,
Yes.
I'm telling you how to decode it. Okay,
Tell me.
that
Right.
Tower of Babel, where it was so tall, they built a tower. That's what was told to
Uh-huh.
us. That they built it so tall that they was able to peep into heaven. Okay, and we ran with that
Yes.
story, which was a hocus pocus story. You heard me? But
Yes.
God said there, and He told me the truth. When it comes to the Bible is only prophecies today. You see, so that tower that they was trying to build, that is saying in the Bible, is the tower that Elon Musk is building right now. Is called the AI tower, where he's building it and where he gonna have all the communication. Babel, remember Babel, right? Babel, that means talking, right? Anything with Babel means talking, right?
Right.
So he
Right.
confused their communication, and all this right here didn't happen over 2,000 years ago, is about to happen right now. So when you think of now that tower that they building and called Babel, is that tower of communication where Elon Musk is building this AI empire, where now ain't nothing going to be profit anymore. You see, they
And
taking
then
all our
recently,
information now. But that's the tower that was prophesied. You see,
mm-hmm.
that was a tower that was prophesied.
Mm,
And the
mm,
reason
mm.
why we are drowning right now, you heard of whitewash lies, where when they said that Peter, and I know you heard that story right there, and I'm not going to give you too much meat because, like I said there and say,
Uh-uh. Go on. Come on. No.
some people, but it's some people can't take that meat anymore because we've been indoctrinated.
No.
So some of this stuff that I'm
Uh,
telling them, it makes their ears bleed. That why you think they don't really like me? They don't like me. They don't
I
like
don't care
they
about
don't
that.
like the
You over
truth
here.
because they don't
Say
like the
it.
truth. But you remember when Peter, they in one of those scriptures, they say Peter was walking on the water, right? And they say the minute when
Okay.
Peter took his eyes off of Jesus, he started sinking. Now I'm gonna bring it home. That water is these watered down information that we was fed to. Though that water wasn't literally Peter walking on the water. We are drowning right now into this information, this whitewash lie. You see,
Mm-hmm.
these
I
hocus
do.
pocus story. We are drowning. That's why the Bible tells us that we have to rightfully divide the word of truth. What they read now, they reading stuff that's on the surface. They don't know how to get into the core of it. You see, they don't know how to get in the core because they so traditional. You see,
Mm.
just like when it
Yes.
came to how they said that we were scattered abroad, we was through Noah's Ark. Oh, they don't want to hear this one right here. I promise you. You remember the story of Noah's Ark, how they all got on a
Yeah.
boat and they scattered abroad. That was not true. They didn't have the equipment to sit there and take a boat. He with his hands and I don't even think they had nails back then. You want me to tell
And
you how
still
we were
40
scattered
days and
abroad?
40 nights.
And you want me to tell you how
And
we
go
were
ahead.
scattered
Tell me.
abroad? We were scattered
Yes,
abroad,
tell
and
me.
I want you to sit there and you prove me wrong. How we were scattered abroad is called the continental drifting. That's why we are from different parts of the world right now, because the continental drifting, the titanic plates, how it was separating us. That's the earth, the whole planet was one at one time in the beginning, over thousand billions of millions of years. It was just one planet, okay? But during the
Mm-hmm.
continental drifting and the titanic plates, the earth started cracking. You see, it's just like a jigsaw
Yes.
puzzle. If you look at the map today, if you sit there and take all the continents, the countries that's split it up, put it together, it's going to be like a jigsaw puzzle. It's all going to fit with Africa. You see what I'm saying? With the motherland. But it was the
Right.
crafty counselors, the power that be. I called them the crafty counselors. They were the ones that was drawing lines and maps and separating. They were the ones doing that. But before they was doing that, they was in the cave plotting, just like they right now. They plots because we out there, we entertaining.
And not paying attention, and they
And they
didn't
were
research
plotting.
us. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were plotting. And how they woke up when the Chinese, because of the Chinese talking about it today, that when they did they DNA, don't you know they found African blood inside of them? Their DNA was Africa because everything came out of Africa. And when I'm talking about Africa, I'm talking about this entire planet was Africa. This entire planet was Mother Earth. This entire planet was one. You do a DNA right now to every last nationality, you're going to go back to the motherland because the black man is God and the black woman is goddess, Alpha and Omega. They don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to
Well,
hear that. And this come from on high. So all I can say right now, misbehaving, just sit back and let them tear up each other because we're going to get back what's rightfully ours. Let them tear
mm-hmm.
each other. Get your popcorns and just tear it up because they built this off a whitewash lie. Don't you know we start digging up and those grounds and turning those grounds upside down, you probably see a whole new city.
Mm-hmm.
We was already here. This everything was already built. They couldn't go out there and build anything. So how can they sit there and say that they built this? They wouldn't have been able to sustain the climate. The climate would have put blisters and bars. Don't you know suntan lotion didn't come out until maybe the 1980s? So how the hell you can tell me that they built everything? What they did was they
Right.
used strategy to had us to do it. You see?
Mm-hmm. Well,
But now we waking up, say do it yourself. They can't do it themselves. So what they doing? They rather go ahead and try to build robots to do it for them. Because we said we ain't doing it no more. You see how deep that
right.
is? Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that. But God say tell it to them anyhow. Because these are some stiff-necked people. Tell it to them anyhow. Because they thinking that, oh my God, what the pastor told them. No, honey, if the pastor was right, honey, he wouldn't be sleeping with all these, you know what, right now and robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's not the pastor. They
Oh,
falling right now. They sick right now. God is raising up his remnant messengers to tell you the truth. This is the truth. It can't get no clearer than this. It can get no clearer than this. And I'm telling you something that's gonna make sense, not something that, oh, it's a hocus pocus story. Start researching. Don't you know that they were sitting there at one time? They were eating people, thinking that they can become powerful like us. They was eating us, eating mummies. I
mm,
know you know about that. Called cannabis medicine. You heard of cannabis medicine? Don't you
oh,
know they ate Nat Turner when
Lord
they
have
sit there
mercy.
and
No. Oh, Lord.
you remember Nat Turner, right?
Yes, I remember
When they
that.
unalived
Yeah,
Nat
that too.
Turner, they sat there and they ate him. They was
Lord, because
eating our
you know,
people.
hey, I say I'm a descendant of his. Honey, I fight back. I'm
They
for
ate
peace.
they ate your cousin, girl. They ate your cousin.
Oh, oh, that's why they can't let that dark meat alone.
They can't. They can't.
Oh, oh, they was eating. So then
And,
that, you know what? Then that makes me think that that story, it's a gentleman.
Jeffrey Diamond. What you talking about? Somebody else?
Mm. Yeah, I was about to talk about something else other than Jeffrey Dahmer, but it reminds me there was a show on. It's called American Horror Stories, and I
Mm-hmm.
forgot thing. I can't remember the name of the producer of that show, but he had one season. It was about witches, and I think it was called The Coven.
Mm-hmm.
Angela Bassett starred in that. And then they talked about a lady in Louisiana, Madam something, where the story rumor had it that she would take the blood of the enslaved women's babies and take it and smear it on her face, her body,
Mm-hmm.
because it kept her skin young. I wish I
Mm-hmm.
could remember Madame
That was a
LeBeau.
black
I
woman
can't
that did
remember that.
that.
No, it was Palm Woman. It was
Oh,
a white
okay,
woman.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They demonize everything about us because they know who we are. They demonize everything about us and we believe that lie. We believe that we came on a boat, sat there and was packed like
Like,
sardines, as if we are unhuman. Like we unhuman. Cross the Atlantic Ocean packed like sardines. We was already
and yeah,
here. We was already from the four corners of this earth. Now, where they
you know what
came
a woman
from, I
told me?
don't know where they came from. Want me to tell you where they and I want you to start doing your research with this. Where they came from, I don't know. But I know one thing, they are our lower self. They came through genetic. I wrote that down. It's deep. It's really deep. I want you to read that. You heard me? All they was experiment. That's why 2045 is doomsday to them.
2045.
2045, even the president Biden went ahead and exposed it when he said the minority, the white race is dying out. When he said the white race is
Mm-hmm.
dying out, and the white woman they wants to preserve because they wants to have babies, and that's why they run into the black man. That's why they taking the black man now, sending them to China and mixing it up with the Chinese women because, like I said, it's something about the dominant gene. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
Well,
sister. Come on.
it's always been said that the strongest baby in the world at birth is a black boy. You know,
Absolutely.
the male at birth, he's
Absolutely.
the strongest, and then
And you
over
know for
time,
true. You know for true because why you think that most of our people, and you a nurse, you know why you think that most of our people become missing. Don't you know it have a chop shop right now all over that, and they know their chop shop is there. Our
I would.
organs, hmm,
Mm-hmm.
our
Perfect. I said,
organs is very expensive. Our and their organs is not expensive at all. Our organs is expensive. Every organ in our body is dominant.
that's why I'm suspicious of folks when it comes to experimenting. You
Hmm.
know, because there's a history in our community of our people being experimented on to
Hmm.
find cure diseases or create new drugs. So I'm very cautious of that.
It's
Yeah, I
deep.
love you.
I mean, it's deep. It's so deep where the Most High God had. I mean, He just been giving me dreams. I mean, I've been telling my sister right now. She said, "I'm gonna help you push this out." She said because you know it all came from God. God showed me. And if it doesn't make no sense, come back and you tell me. First, you go do your research. Do your research. All this stuff you sit there and say, well, how Lady D that all this happened no more than hundreds of years ago. You think that happens because first of all, they wasn't even here. No, they are the youngest race. 600 years. That's when they came about. How they came about, I don't know. Maybe genetic mutation, something. But all this
Right.
happened no more than 100 some years. I give it maybe about close to 200 years during the 1800s. That's when, and how they did
Gotta
it
be
so
longer than
fast.
that. D.
No, no, no,
Got-
no, no, no. I promise you. That's it came. All this stuff that you see right now,
Mm-hmm.
you come back, do your research. Do your research and you come back. When it came to the Middle East, when they divided the Middle East, it was maybe the late 1800s. When they came out with a Jesus, Jesus was not over 2,000 years ago. They came out with the name Jesus. No, and they say it maybe the 1600s. You see what I'm saying? When King James and went ahead, had his 16 inspired men to sit there and revise the Bible. Why would you revise the original Bible when in the Testament God said there and say, don't add nor subtract? Now, why did you revise it? When his first name, when you revise out of the Geneva Bible, his name was Yahweh. His name was Yahshua. So how did you become from Yahweh, from Yahshua to Jesus? Make it make sense.
Oh, whoa, whoa, hold on now. Hold on. All right, we got a revelation right now. You know, Jesus in the Hispanic community is Jesus.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And who is
Well,
Jesus?
tell you what, that's a common name. Jesus
Mhm.
is Jesus to us in English, but in Spanish is Jesus. That's a common name in
Mhm.
the Hispanic community,
But
especially
why
all the
would
folks.
you change from Yahshua? How can Yahshua come to from Jesus?
I have no idea, but what I want to know is who wrote this book. That's what I always have an issue with.
Well, let me
Like
tell you,
who wrote this book?
girl, if you want to get deep, I can get deep. Ask me how deep you want me to get. You want to
I
know
want you
who
to
wrote
get
the
deep.
book.
Who wrote this?
You want to know who
I want
wrote
to
the
know
book.
who wrote this.
I just
I want
told
you.
you
I do.
what they did. Let me tell you what they did. The crafty counselors. We gonna call them crafty counselors because we got the noun
Yeah.
because speak into an unknown tongue now. You see what I'm saying? But he that have an ear,
Yeah.
let him hear. The crafty counselors is the ones that these invaders, the Europeans invaders, went to Africa off the wall of Kemet, and they wrote the wall. They wrote what they saw on the wall, the Egyptian walls, which the original Egyptian walls was Kemet, was Africa. The original name that they
Mm-hmm.
saw was Osiris. Okay, Osiris. They turned it to Jesus. They called it Jesus. They plagiarized it. They came back from the original text of the Egyptian walls, and they went ahead and they plagiarized it and they called it their holy Bible.
Okay.
And you do your homework. Don't take my words from me. Guys, don't take my words. Everything that I'm saying right now, go back and do your homework. They plagiarized it. They plagiarized the Bible. You see? That's why I
Mm-hmm.
sit there and say, when I open it up, notice when I come on, I always tell you guys, don't get rid of your Bibles. Don't always say that.
Yep. That's what
And
you
it's the
say.
reason why I say don't get rid of your Bibles. And one day when you was telling me, you say, "Oh, Lady D, I need you to help me to read." I say, "Hold up. Didn't I say that? I didn't tell you. I didn't give you none of that information, right?"
Right. You
I
sure
say,
didn't.
"Hold up,"
You sure.
because I'm still downloading. I'm still downloading. So right there, when he said that when it comes to the Bible, he says for correction and reproof. Now, if it's for correction and reproof, that means that what you're trying to tell me when God say he's not a man that he shall lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. So why are you telling me the Bible is for correction and reproof? That means to go and do your research, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get it? It don't take a child to figure
Yeah.
this out, right? So where's the
Well, I know
original
one.
Bible? You ask where the original Bible. Want me to tell you where the original
Is
Bible
it?
at?
Is it? Is it at? Is it at the Vatican? Locked up?
No,
Where is it?
no. It's written in your heart. All you have to do is open up your mouth.
Oh,
It's
oh,
that
D.
simple. It's
There
that
you
simple.
go.
We are telling it right now. We are telling it right now. What you see in the word, what they call the Bible, is only prophecies to come. You heard me? Do you think that the Most High God will put his word in a book? If he would have put his word in a book, do you think half of us would read it? Then we will be stuck like Chuck, right?
Right.
So his word is not in a book. He didn't tell Ezekiel. He told Ezekiel. He said, Ezekiel. He didn't say read the book. He told Ezekiel to eat the book. And Ezekiel said the book was sweet as honey. You see? He said the book was sweet as honey. And there's a reason why he told Moses. He said there and say the word is fading away. Now, how the word is fading away? He said, if you read in, I think it's in First Corinthians, where it say it's not written on ink or on stone. If he said the word is not written on ink and stone, I'm gonna give you the scripture. I want you to read it for yourself. And after that, we could go ahead and close it up. Let me tell you something right now, because they're not going to sit there and feed us these hocus pocus stories no more. You understand what I'm saying? Now,
Yes.
I'm not telling you to get rid of your Bible, but I'm telling you, you need someone that knows how to rightfully divide it. And the first thing they're gonna say, oh, she's an antichrist. Oh, she's this. The devil is, like I said there and say, the devil gonna tell you to stay in your mess and have you to continue waiting for a sky daddy, waiting for something to pop out of the sky, or wait until you die in order for you to have your heaven. But yet they are not waiting for their heaven until they die. They having their heaven right now. So if they got their heaven right now, why we can't have our heaven right now? Why we got to wait till we die to have our heaven? Make it make sense. They told us the reason why the Most High God kicked us out of the Garden of Eden because we was worshiping false gods, but yet they down there digging up every god that we got and putting it in the museum. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
my sister. The same guys you telling us we was worship, the same guys you done sat there and you done dug them up and you got them in the British Museum, and then half of our chiefs, in Africa, y'all sat there and y'all put their skulls in the museums like they trophy, and what y'all didn't put in the museums like trophy, y'all ate them.
Mm. Mm. I said we can close that on now. Lord, what you say? They ate them. Whatever they did in the museum, they did ate them. Ooh, where that scripture D so I can go on and
Hold
read it.
on,
I'm
hold
in
on.
First
I
Corinthians.
want you to read it. I want you to read it. Hold on. And that's
Ooh,
why they got us distracted, because they don't want us to talk like that. When you talk like that, you don't live. You see what I'm saying? Because then you expose
right.
them. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. The word is not written with ink. So I want you to read this, and I want you to read it slowly. Okay?
Okay. We won't be much longer now, y'all. We
Hold
won't be
on.
much longer.
Hold on 1 second. Because I'm holding my mic with my hands here. Go to Second Corinthians 3:7.
Okay, Second Corinthians 3, 7. Second Corinthians 3 and 7. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But if the ministration of death, written and engraven in stones, was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away.
Okay, go to
See?
3. Go to 3. Which Bible you reading? The King James? Which one you reading?
I'm reading which version? It has both the Old Testament and the New Testament. So
Okay.
I'm
Which
reading.
which Bible you reading? It say the King James version or the New Testament? I mean the NIV. What you know?
No, it's not the King James. It's just the Bible. Oh, yes, it is. It said the Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testaments in the King James version.
Okay. Now read it again. Read it again. Go ahead. Read it again. Read 3.
So
Second Corinthians 3:3. Read that one.
3 and 3. Okay. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Christ, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshy tables of the heart.
Now
It said this.
what did you get this? Because you can't break this down Even a child can break this down. What did you get from this right here?
You just mentioned that to me, that the Bible is written in the heart. It ain't written
Thank you.
down in words. And
Did I write this? Did you write this? Did you put this in here, Misbehaving?
no, I did not.
Can you read it one more time and we can close it up? For it's written
For
not
as
with
much,
what?
oh, hold on, with ink, but with the spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshy tables of the heart.
The spirit of a dead God? You just told me a dead God?
Mm.
Did you say a dead God?
I ain't say dead God,
What
but
did
it's
you
our
say?
God.
You say the
I
living God.
said the living God. That's what I
So the
said.
word is
With
in
the
the
spirit of
living God, not in on ink or on a paper, but where? In the heart. You see?
mm-hmm.
So
It's right there.
that means that what we are reading did not come from God, because if I sit there and I go a little further, it's going to tell you it's fading away. So if it's the God spoken word, why is it fading away? Because it's in the heart. You heard me?
Right.
You see? You got it, sister.
Well, I've always said I may not know the Bible, but I know how I'm supposed to be. You're supposed to
Thank
be
you.
kind, patient,
Thank you.
loyal.
Thank you. And they don't
I
want you to
know it.
see that. They don't
But
want you to wake up, because if you wake up, then you're going to know the ending of it. And the ending is what? Doomsday to them. Because want me to tell you who's going to be the judge? What they took from us, they made us hate who we are. We are connected to nature. And they don't want us to be connected to nature because nature hate them. They go outside right now and they going to burn with blisters and boils. But when we go out there, yeah, we might get a little dark, but I promise you it's going to shine. It's going to be smooth as butter. You see what I'm saying? Did you hear me? Don't tell me you fainted, huh?
God, I ain't saying I'm ready for this because I've always said, I said, I know to be right and to do right to other people as well and try to live my life right the best way possible. And I always said, but my mind is one of those minds where when something doesn't make isn't quite right to me, and I kept saying, who wrote this Bible? Like somebody wrote this Bible because I don't know. It
I'm gonna
didn't.
tell
But
you one
that
more
right
thing, and I'm
there,
not going to see. Like I say, I can't feed. I can't feed this so fast, because when we still on baby, we still on milk, and it's just like a baby. If you go and give a baby meat, the baby gonna choke, right? So
yeah.
you got to give the baby meat. You see, so I mean milk. So we still on milk, but I'm gonna tell you one more thing. I'm gonna tell you one more thing. And I want you to
Yes, ma'am.
research. Don't take my word. Research. You see what I'm saying? Because the word is hitting only to those that are lost. But it's out there. It's just
Oh,
how deep you are willing to go and get it. Okay. The
okay.
name Jesus came up in the early 1600s. The picture that you see on the wall, his name was Caesar. And I might be pronouncing his name wrong. Ceaser,
Uh-huh.
Caesar Borgia. His father was Alexandra, I think Alexander the sixth, and I might be mistaken, Alexandra, but I know it was one of those Alexandras. It was one of those kings. What he did was he had Leonardo da Vinci to paint a picture of his son. And the minute when they painted a picture of his son, he had the entire world to worship him.
I heard
Did
this
you
story before.
you see he had his son to worship, and they changed his name. King James and them changed the name when they revised the Bible from Joshua to Jesus, from Osiris to Jesus. You see? And they plagiarized it. I can't hold this.
Mm,
I
mm,
got to tell
mm.
the truth.
Show can't. Well, tell the truth, but we finna close this on out right now. We've been
We
here
wasn't
a
even
little
ready
over
for
an
this. We was
hour.
talking about one thing and end up with this. But it all leads up. That's why I say just sit back and watch. You heard me? Sit back and watch. So are we done? You heard me, sister?
I did. I heard you. I sure did. I tell you. Ooh, yeah. Well, I've been playing my church music. I know it's real. I know it's real.
And
Honey,
don't take my word.
honey,
Go and
honey.
research. You heard me? Research.
I will. I'll research it, but I tell you what, we started off talking about the president of Mexico, where she said, "Make America Mexicana again." Hashtag Mama, baby, and we ended up talking about the Bible. Hey, only with my girl, unapologetic real talk. Lady D,
Cut,
subscribe to her channel, honey. I
cutting through
am
the
your girl,
lies.
Miss Behavior. And I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank
Like,
you, my sis.
subscribe, and share. Thank you for the knowledge. Ooh, Lord, that's open. Somebody didn't open that.
All right, my girl.
But ain't
Talk to you
nobody
later.
mad. Bye
But
bye.
we just say ain't
Look,
nobody mad, but what?
ooh, ain't nobody, ain't the devil. And if you
Thank
find yourself being mad at anything that Lady D and Misbehaving had to say, chances are the devil is you. Some, ooh, why I just get a chill over my body. And I mean, that's for real. Why did I just get a chill over my body? And it's not a scary chill.
is waking up.
All right, y'all.
That's what it is.
It's time. It's time. We sit back. The Hispanic Latin community, baby, they are inspiring. You better watch them do work. They said, Black folks, you had your chance, but y'all didn't drop the ball. So step to the side and watch us work. And baby, they coming for everything that they want. And dear white people, I like you. But I'm not busting a grape. I'm not moving until I get my reparations check. Didn't I tell y'all about 8 months back? Until y'all do right by the black community, everything that you touch is gonna fail. And as my girl Lady D so eloquently stated moments ago, the roosters have finally come home to roost. So we gonna cut this on out. Y'all be safe in these YouTube streets. I'm gonna give y'all a little mess, but I'm gonna talk about some real stuff that's going on in life. And if I don't get the clicks and views, that's all right, baby. I'm still think that's right, baby. They don't want to listen. They don't want this. They don't want that meat is greasy, baby. All right, y'all. Good night,
All
D.
right, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed.
Thank you. You be blessed too. There go my girl, country girl queen, and one of the best moderators in YouTube land. She said, "This has been an awesome and amazing live misbehaving and unapologetic real talk. Everyone enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and God bless you all." You got that right. Definitely stay prayed up. And I have been praying a lot lately, reading the Bible, and I don't know why I just got that feeling over me. And I'm being honest, you guys. I'm not being dramatic. It's not a eerie feeling. It's not a scary feeling. It's not a child, you've been standing up too long, you about to faint feeling. But I don't know why I just had that chill. I don't know why I had that chill through my body. But God bless you all and good night. Mm.